Warren Entsch, what would happen if on Monday during that party room meeting Malcolm Turnbull stood up and said, you know what, we're going to bring on a vote in the Parliament on same-sex marriage tomorrow morning being the first day back Tuesday?
I'd be celebrating, of course. Of course. I mean, I wish life was that simple, but, that's my preferred choice. But I've got to say, I'm pretty happy that we've got the meeting on Monday. Our Liberal Party party room give us an opportunity to have a discussion on this, and I would hope and expect that it will be cordial, it will be respectful and civil, and give us an opportunity to put forward our case.
Do you like the idea of a secret ballot on Monday to canvass the opinions of the party room about the best way forward?
I'm quite happy to see where we go there. I mean, I'm not going to preempt anything, and I'm not going to rule anything out, in or out, if you like. I just appreciate the fact that we're going to have an opportunity to have a discussion, and I guess at that point in time we'll be discussing as to how we express those views. So I'm not, I'm not one of those people that get out there and preempt and sort of and be critical of processes. I appreciate the fact that we've got this opportunity. I just want to find a resolution for this, and let's see where we go with it. I'm sure that there'll be other ideas that come out of it in the Liberal Party party room. I've made a point as to where I'm going to go. I'll be very keen to listen to my colleagues' arguments as well. But at the end of the day, I just want a resolution to it.
News Corp's been reporting that Mr Turnbull's been calling rebel government MPs like yourself, warning you all to continue to back a plebiscite for same-sex marriage. You spoke to Malcolm Turnbull today. Was that the message he sent you?
Absolutely not, and it's absolute nonsense. I mean, I read the articles too, and there was a suggestion that others like Trevor from Brisbane and also Dean Smith had received calls. Now, both of those I've spoken to, that's not the case. Unfortunately, in these sort of debates, and they're not helpful at all, you get these unnamed sources, these senior unnamed sources that throw this stuff out there. They throw it out there not because they're trying to find a solution, but they're just trying to stir the pot and create some sort of dissent. And anything I say, I'm prepared to put my name to it. And I would challenge others there, if they want to have an opinion on this, if they want to talk about this, be prepared to stand up and identify who you are, rather than making these anonymous threats, which quite frankly have got absolutely no substance whatsoever. And quite honestly, well, the reality is they're very, very dishonest in a lot of the comments that are being made.
So can you then say unequivocally the Prime Minister has not urged you to back the plebiscite?
I have actually spoken to the Prime Minister on this on a number of occasions and explained to him my position and where I'm going with it. He has never once said, Warren, don't do it. And he's never once said, Warren, I want you to modify your views. We've had a discussion on it. He explains to me where he's coming from on it. He explains to me the challenges that he has. And we say, well, look, I'm not going to get bogged down in process. I'm quite happy to listen to, reasonable arguments. At the end of the day, I want an outcome. And this nonsense about somehow or other he's out there running around asking us to back off or to do a certain thing is just totally wrong.
What about a postal plebiscite? What's your view on that?
Well, I've already expressed my serious reservations about it. I actually put up the concept in the final stages of the plebiscite debate in a hope to deal with the cost issue. But, since looking at it, there's a whole range of reasons why we wouldn't do this. And, I mean, it's interesting that those that are pushing it now, that are saying, this is a contentious issue, we need to deal with it, a postal plebiscite. Why wasn't that the case when, the former Prime Minister was arguing about RU 486? Why didn't he defer to a postal plebiscite for that rather than have a free vote in the Parliament? Or the euthanasia debate that we had all those years ago, why didn't we do that to a postal plebiscite? At the end of the day, as I said, I keep saying, we've debated this for years and years and years. We just got to put it to bed. We've just got to, and my view is the quickest way to do this, to get it resolved, is to have a vote. If people don't agree with it, they don't have to vote. They can abstain, or alternatively, they can vote against it. I'm not asking them to change their views, but there are lots of other issues that actually are going to require a whole lot of debate. After 15 years, I think we've talked this one through. Let's kick it into the goal. one way or another, whatever the outcome might be on the vote, and we move on to others that we have to discuss.
Do you expect any of your colleagues to join the crossbench if this does go to a vote on the floor of the Parliament? Do they feel that passionately against marriage equality that they would go to that extent?
Well, look, there was one of my National Party colleagues, Andrew Broad. There was a comment made. I heard it in the media today, and they were playing a recording of a comment that he made. But let's put that into context. That comment was made during the plebiscite debate quite a long time ago, and my understanding is that he hasn't made any comments since then. Now, you know, I've had a number of discussions with Andrew. I mean, he's got views on this, but I had very cordial and respectful comments with him, discussions with him since that time, and my understanding is that he hasn't made any comments or any threats since that time. It's just assumptions and people dragging stuff up from the past and suggesting that this is what's going to happen in the future. Let's wait and see what's going to happen before we start, playing it out as a fait accompli.
And Queensland National Senator Barry O'Sullivan's actually accused you and the likes of Dean Smith, Tim Wilson and others of treacherous behaviour. He says that pushing a vote on the floor of the Parliament is tantamount to blowing up the coalition.
Well, you know, I mean, that's his opinion. I mean, he's also argued when he put the motion up there in the Queensland State LNP conference that the reason that he had to do this was because there were a number of parliamentarians that were out there that were trying to get a solution. Heaven forbid. Of course I'm trying to get a solution. I'm trying to get the darn thing sorted out once and for all. And so, but you know, he's entitled to his opinion. He can attack me. I mean, this is one of the problems you have here. You've got those in the extreme, both sides of the argument. Once they get onto the extreme, they start making personal attacks. They don't have the capacity to be able to put forward a good argument in relation to the issue, so they start attacking personalities and making these ridiculous claims. And the one thing about Barry O'Sullivan, at least he puts his name to it. Most of his mates are wanting to do it as anonymous sources, but nevertheless it doesn't make him any more right. I would much rather that he could tell me more openly what the issue is specifically and why it is that I have, because I happen to have a different view, why I'm I'm a lesser person for that. And it's disappointing when they start playing the man rather than the ball.
Warren Entsch, thanks for your company.
Thanks, Emma. It's a pleasure.